another mirror on the wall. Who is the greatest DIYer of them all?
Jeff Thorman from Home Renovision.
That's not what I was expecting. What's up everyone? This is the mirror that we're going to be building today in this video, and this is a dirty bed. I am in between guests here at my Airbnb in Beach Mountain, North Carolina. The cleaners have not yet come, but the video must go on, so ignore this and just appreciate the beauty that we have here. Now you can go ahead and buy a framed mirror already from the store, but you're going to be looking at $100 to $200, especially for this size. So why not just build one yourself out of pine wood from one of your local favorite stores? Lowe's Home Improvement sponsorship. This whole project only cost me about $50 to $60, including the wood and the mirror here itself. Now if you go with the smaller mirror, those cost a little bit less, and you can get away with doing this for $50 max. I did build 3 different mirrors that all use pretty much the same style as this one here, so we'll check all those out. Last thing I gotta say is hit that like button down below, subscribe, let's go. All you need to make these mirror frames are 2 1x4 pine wood boards here that span 8 feet long. Now these cost me $7 each, so I'm probably gonna title this video or have a thumbnail with $14 in it, which I know is gonna piss some of y'all off. So today I'm going to do a different type of materials list introduction. Along with the pine boards, you're going to need some stain here, tint of polyurethane or clear coat, a rag to apply the stain, brush for the clear coat, sandpaper, a broken measuring tape, a triangle, a pencil, safety glasses, a dust mask, a drill, a sander, and some sort of Craig jig systems. You also need a $300 miter saw, $20 extension cable, a pickup truck. And if I'm forgetting anything, definitely let me hear it in the comments below. I know you guys will let me have it. I almost let this slip, so I'm gonna use some of this liquid nails that I have on hand, and you'll need the actual caulk gun for that. I'll also be using some electricity in this shed. Then since I am using this workshop, which is part of the house payment and the mortgage and all that, I guess we gotta split that across. I know I'm going too far, but seriously you guys, a lot of these tools are things I already have. This project literally cost me $14 to make, but let's finally just get into this video. Just to clear up any confusion you may have during the rest of this video, I do have 6 boards here because I'm actually framing 3 mirrors, 2 big ones, 1 small one, and one of them I'm doing with premium pine wood, which does cost $11 for a board. That's going in my primary house here, and the wife just didn't want the knots and some of the cool characteristics that come with some of your regular knotted pine. And the smaller boards here are going with the smaller mirror. Makes sense, right? There's 2 different types of corners you could do here. You could do the straight edge one, where you just get your top piece, butt it up there, and that's your corner. This is probably what I'm gonna go with, at least at first. It's just easier to do. And then there's the mitered corners that look like that. These are a little bit cleaner, and they're really not that difficult. It's just measuring where your corner is on your mirror and putting it on there, but a little bit more work. And these are for a cabin up in the mountains, so kind of rusticy with the straight edge, I would say. Would probably look better over there. Shoot guys, I forgot to mention these headphones. I don't know how much, 50, 60? I got these at a garage sale years ago. I already made a mistake, so don't cut 2 21-inch pieces out of the same board that you have here, because now I don't have enough to do one entire side, which needs to be 66 inches for these large mirrors. And luckily I have scrap wood laying in the shed so I can do it. But now the rest of this 8-foot board is a waste for this case. It might work on the small mirror, but it won't work on the big mirror. So cut 1 21-inch board out of your 8-foot board and then have the rest go for your side, right? So one board is one side and one top, and then the other board is the other side and the bottom. There we have it, 2 66-inch pieces and 2 21-inch pieces for the large mirror. In case you're interested in knowing, if you want to do the miter corners here, take your one end like this here, just cut the corner off at a 45-degree angle. It doesn't matter where on the board, just try to get as close to the end so you can use as much board as you want. Then from this point here, from the shorter point, right, from the shorter point, 66 inches, and measure that all the way down here. And again, it's my shorter point on this side. So 66 will be your insides of your trim piece of wood here. Let me cut it. 45 degrees. I have my line here. With 66 inches from that inside corner to that inside corner. The outside dimension here, I have no idea what that is. This one is 16 and a half from inside to inside. This will make a lot more sense when I'm done with it, but what I need to do is notch out in the back here the depth or the thickness of these mirrors, so that way this wood will rest flush against the wall when I'm hanging this up. If I were to just put it on the face of this mirror, there's gonna be a gap behind the mirror frame and the wall, and it's gonna look funny, and mounting is gonna become an issue. So I need to rip that out, and there's two ways to do it. You can do it with the table saw, which is what I'm gonna do, or with a router. It's kind of trippy looking at a mirror like this. Now I have $3 for a utility knife. You can get a super cheap one. Just kind of cut the stuff off. You can do most of it with your fingers actually, but whatever you gotta do, flathead screwdriver, whatever. Now it's time to Craig jig a couple of holes here. Get my kit out. Need your bit and the Craig tool. This one that I have can mark the depth of your wood. So you can see this little gray dot. It's on 3/4. There's 1/2 inch and there's 1.5 inch. I'm on 3/4 there, so it puts a good stop when you lash this onto the end. Boop. And I drill my holes. Additionally, on the bit, it has a 3/4 inch place right there, and you could adjust this with an Allen wrench and move it up and down. Beautiful. I'm doing that on the end of all my long pieces. So 2 on this board, 2 on this board, and then 2 on the other end, and 2 on the other end. As you can see here, my bottom board and my top board are 2 inches too short. I don't know where my math got messed up there, but instead of 22 inches, these need to be 24 inches. And I will double confirm that once this is all said and done. I'll get you the right dimensions. I'll also have the dimensions down in the description below, so you can check it out, follow along there. But hopefully these others are okay, but now I'm really worried. Luckily, it's as simple as one of these small boards here. I'll just have to cut it to a new one 2 inches longer and just route this thing out again. My blade on my table saw is already in the right place, so it's not too much work. I didn't sand this or anything yet, so it'll be a quick update. Now my mitered cornered one fits perfectly. Fits really nice in there. It's okay that there's some gaps here. I actually wanted that. I want some wiggle room on the sides. I'm gonna adhere all of this mirror to this wood anyways, but really the mirror is going to be resting on the bottom plate, whichever one I have as the bottom. It's gonna be resting on there, and then this will be drilled into the wall, into some studs, top and bottom, and then I could always put some liquid nails or something attaching this to the wall. For some reason my miter, the complicated one, fit perfectly. It's also a really good thing because the mitered one I did with the more expensive wood, so that would have cost me $22 to fix and replace, and I don't have scraps of that type of the premium pine. I only have scraps of the knotted pine. So if you didn't know this about caulk guns, you actually have a hole cut right there, or little, I don't know what you call it, but it cuts the top of your tip there, so you can see there's a cut now. And then it has this prong to puncture the seal way down in there. There you go. I'll be using 1 1/4 inch Craig screws that I got from there into these holes. And this is where I'm applying a few drops of the liquid nails on the back of the frame to hold the mirror onto the frame itself. You don't really need very much of it. And here's actually where I broke the mirror when transporting it into this bedroom. The other 2 mirrors survived, but I just put a little trim piece here and it looks just like it never happened. I've said it before on this channel, but a framed mirror can really dress up a room. Get it? No, I don't always have dirty beds everywhere I go. This is another Airbnb attached to my other Airbnb that you just saw. Pretty cool setup, huh? But this is our brand new mirror. This is one of the smaller versions of the mirror as well, and I actually like it better than the big ones. Maybe it's best not to try to go fancy and just get the smaller version of the body mirror and frame it up. It looks a lot nicer. And this one I use 1x3s instead of 1x4s. And it's a lot cleaner to me. I wish I did a project on this build. This floating desk is awesome. Maybe I'll do another one sometime. While I'm in here, I got these DIYers too that I made. Eventually I should put a headboard that matches all this wood. It looks super cute up here. A mirror like this has a lot of character to it, unlike what you would get at Walmart, and it's a lot cheaper than if you were to go and buy it at World Market. If you like this kind of content, as I said in the beginning of the video, hit that subscribe button down below. Give me a like button as a free way to show your support for my content. I'm completely butchering this outro, but that just gives some of the character to the video. I will see you on the next one. Whoop.